Welcome to What People Miss, the space where high-achieving men in business can finally set down the performance and reconnect with what is real. I am Cordelia Gaffar, and I work with professionally successful, socially respected men, corporate leaders, and founders who are physically and mentally exhausted, helping them to regain strength, confidence, and self-respect without shame, judgment, or emotional overwhelm. In each episode, we uncover what people miss when they are running companies, leading teams, and scaling visions on empty, so you can lead with a clear mind, a steady body, and a dignified heart. Take a breath, loosen your shoulders, and listen. What you have been trained to push past may be exactly what brings you back to yourself as a man and a leader. Welcome to What People Miss. Today, I'm going to do something different with my podcast. A month ago, I was a facilitator for the visioning retreat with the Wholeness Center. And I get the opportunity to see where everybody's vision has gone to in the past month. So today I'm here with Bemene Piaro, who is the founder of the Wholeness Center. Welcome to What People Miss.
Thank you.
And one of the facilitators, actually all three of us were co-facilitating, Madala Machini. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And one of the participants, Robyn Shahda. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that we're all here and we get to reconvene 30 days post-event, well, almost 30 days post-event. So let's just begin at the beginning. Bemene, what is a vision board?
Perfect. A vision board is essentially a collection of images and statements, and that essentially clarify what people want, goals and values that they want to keep visible and stay connected to as they move in the direction behind their goals and move in the directions of their feelings that are manifested in those images, words, and statements.
Now, I like that definition, and it seems like I just get to collect some images and maybe post it on a poster board or paper. But I feel, well, I just want people to understand there's a distinction between that and your actual vision. So can you kind of walk us through what is an embodied version of that?
Absolutely. So, my vision for vision boarding is what I like to think of as life by design. I believe very much about leading life intentionally, and a vision board I see as one of the tools that helps you do that. So, your vision board, and the reason we do it at the beginning of the year is essentially you taking a moment to really think about the year that you want so that you can do what is within your power to walk towards that vision. The embodied part of it is that, as you mentioned, always, Cordelia, we're so busy, we're moving about, we're doing all these things. We don't stop often enough to hear ourselves, to hear what is really in our hearts. So with the process, with the embodied vision boarding process, we really take time to pause. So there's actually a nourishing day. So it's actually a day where we're getting respite, we're getting connection, we're hearing ourselves think about what it is that we want in community with other people, and getting sometimes uh, the ideas, and the vision through community, right? So it's the guided process that gets us to reflect on the year we've had, reflect on our values or goals or ultimate desires, and then to make some decisions about or what we want to bring into the year coming up in a fun way and with community.
Okay. So Madala, you were one of the facilitators. tell us a little bit about the embodiment portion.
So my part of the visioning retreat is getting people to kind of get into their bodies, get into a vulnerable state to tap into their intuition. But I am a trained yoga teacher, and so I have people do gentle movements and some meditation to kind of let the outside world be outside, and to kind of tap into this inner space and really sink into their inner knowing. And it's a really beautiful process, very gentle, and in a lot of ways subtle. Like maybe these things seem like routine or normal, but they're very powerful tools that we all have access to, that we use for our visioning retreat to deepen the process. So it wasn't just the surface level asking, but a very intentional and thoughtful process to go within.
Okay. And so, you know, for the viewers and listeners, you can already see the distinction between just sitting down and collecting some images to place there. This, through what Madala and Bemene have shared so far, seems to be more of a deep, get answers not just from your mind, but also from your body. So Robyn, tell us as a participant, how was that for you?
In a word, fantastic. Because I'm not one that just uses one word, I'll elaborate a little bit more. Last year I was going through just a period of change and adjustment in a very, very good way. And I had multiple ideas. My brain was just all over the place. It was very chaotic. And I kind of started coaching myself. I'm a trained coach, and I started kind of mentally coaching myself. And I came to the conclusion that I need to apply what I do in work sometimes to my personal life. By that, I mean, okay, take some time out and plan, and just plan, and that's okay. And so that's where I was coming from when I joined the workshop. And I'll be completely honest, it's normally not my thing to do something like this. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just use it as a time to reserve some time and space to actually plan out what it is I want to do next. And I was shocked at how much not just taking the time and space, but actually going through the process that you guys set up. It actually just got me to a different, a place that I didn't expect. And as I mentioned this when I was given feedback on the workshop, I adapted it to myself. I didn't worry about what everybody else thought, or how everybody else applied the workshop to themselves. I just adapted it to what I need. And so it just got me to a place where all of a sudden I had something where I got my thoughts organized, got rid of the noise, got my thoughts organized. And I felt like I came out of it with not just a vision, but a plan of action for the year. And then that's why I came back this year.
So it sounds like you were expecting to be a little bit more methodical, and you were pleasantly surprised at what wisdom your body brought to the process.
I was, and I shouldn't have been, because I'm one that has always trusted my intuition. And I always tell people, and I always, in coaching people, coach them to look at things from a different perspective. I said, and I'll tell them, I'm like, it's just surprising when you look at things from a different perspective, what comes up. It's, when you're listening to yourself and your intuition. I just had never thought, I can apply that to myself and use different tools to apply that to myself. So so that's why I say I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised in a very pleasant way. So.
Yeah. And it's okay to be pleasantly surprised and to be our own clients sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really nice. Bemene, you look like you wanted to add something there.
I just feel like we're leaving someone off of this who was also a facilitator, who was a key part
Oh, right. There's
of our whole embodiment process.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
right. So my portion was bringing us into our intuition. And so I feel like the heart of our intuition is the child within us. And so in that process, when we came out of what Madala presented us with, right, to be in our bodies, then I invited us slowly to use breath and color to draw the things that were deeply in your heart and connect you with your intuition. And so for me, this was, I want to share something here, because for me, this was like the first vision board event I've attended, right? In probably 7 years. And so this is like, I haven't done a vision board in that long. And for me, I did this digitally, because we had the choice to use Canva. And so I made a little mini video for mine, for all my different areas of my life, that I wanted to sort out. And what was distinct for me is 2 of the things have already happened. So I'm wondering, like, for yeah, I know, it's like,
it's so powerful. It's amazing.
So, like, even to your point, Robyn, right? That's why I say, like, sometimes you have to be your own client. I help people tune into their intuition all the time, and I miss that for myself, right? So this, as a facilitator and a participant, that was the nice part of it, the way we set it up, right? We got to facilitate when we were facilitating, and we got to participate when we were not facilitating. This was very powerful for me. So I'm curious, who else has had stuff come forth on your vision board? Okay, go ahead, Robyn. Look, okay, yeah. For Madala, whoever.
We're all like, wow, great.
Robyn, please go ahead.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just I realized that both last year and even this year, that's what it took for me, was just to, like I said, to get my thoughts and organized. And for me, I felt like it helped me manifest what I wanted and get a clear focus. And so, yeah, so I've had, when I did my mental review last year, my self-review last year, towards the end of the year, I'm like, wow, I really followed this year. And more importantly, I didn't focus on things that weren't on my vision board that could be distracting from it. Didn't mean I didn't, expand my vision board and do things that, wasn't that strict. Like, I can only do in life, I can only do what I have written down, but I cut out the distractions. And I think that's what helped me achieve some of the things I wanted to, or get me on the right path. And it's the same this year. It's, I'm not so sure that maybe it's not accurate to say I've achieved things on there. What I've achieved is taking the steps that I needed to in these particular areas that I wanted to focus on. Does that make
Beautiful.
sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Having a path, right, to accomplishments and achievements is just as important as the actual achievement manifesting, So thank you for that. Go ahead, Madala.
So before I was a facilitator, I was a participant. And I remember the year before I became a facilitator, I participated and put my vision board that I made on Canva or some other app, put it on my phone as my phone background. And so many things from that vision board are still coming true now. Like I met my now partner, now in talks about getting married and children and buying a house and all these things that I never thought could happen to me. Once I kind of cleared away, like admitted to myself, honestly, that what I really wanted, once I allowed myself to suspend disbelief, as Bemene often says, I let myself dream and hope, and the stars aligned and things fell into place, and so many beautiful things happened in the last few years. And I'm still amazed at the power of intentionality and focusing your mind on the things that you do want rather than focusing on the things that you don't want. And I'm excited to see what this year has in store. That's my testimonial, if you will.
I love that. You know, we skip over intentionality quite often. And we also, we'll make a vision, but then we won't believe in it. And I remember that's something that we said near the end, right? We were like, so there's a whole action item that's super important. You have to believe what you just created. You know, you can take a whole day and pour into yourself, be poured into, and be in community and bring forth this beautiful vision. But if you don't do the number one most important part of believing your vision, then that's what keeps it away from you. So.
Can I add to that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I think this goes with that. For me, what goes with that is when you do believe in yourself and your own intuition as to what you want, and don't compare it to other people. And by that, like, I have one of the things on my vision board has to do with I love reading. I love reading books. I am old. I'm the person on the airplane with the big book, not with the Kindle, but with the big permanent book that people are looking at going, haven't you heard of a Kindle? You know, because I love to read. And I will go through periods where I just don't make time to read for myself. And I put that on the vision board and even a plan for how I want to do it. And it's, you know, it's such a small thing. It's not like this big, sexy item that people think of when they think of visioning boards. And don't get me wrong, you want the big dreams and stuff like that. But for me, that is also very, very important. And so I kind of let go of, well, why can't I have this on my vision board? I mean, this is this is something that brings me joy, and I'm not doing it as much as I want to. And so it's like when you trust yourself and you don't discount anything that is important to you, big or little, I think you're then more likely to take the act, to commit to believe, and then commit to the action.
I love that. That's so, thank you for bringing that into our conversation, because again, we talk about what people miss. It's the small things, right? It's the very small, incremental things that we do, like our inputs in this case, right? Reading a book is an input. And so how much can, you commit to being, allowing space in your day to intentionally input what you require, right? So thank you for bringing that in. That's totally belongs on every single vision board. You can't just put like the house on the beach. You know what I mean? How else are you going to get there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because those little things just feed your soul and feed your joy and give, at least for me, and it gives me the energy to do some of the bigger things.
Yeah.
Can I just say I'm loving sitting here, listening to you all talk about this process. It means so much. And similar to Robyn, I'm a life coach. I'm a transformational life coach, and I'm also a facilitator. And so it's just so beautiful to sit here and have you all say all the intentions without me having to say a single one of them. You guys are feeling my heart so much. And I love the themes that are coming up too, right? Like the the manifestation has been thrown out there, and like for a lot of people, it's like that's woo woo, and it's like okay, fine, that's not your thing. We don't have to go there. But if that is your thing, it's like this is your tool. You have the things that you want to manifest, and it's there for you to see and to be reminded and to keep top of mind and for you to put your consciousness towards. But if you're a more practical person like Robyn was and like I am, then it's like it's an action plan almost, right?
Yeah.
Like Robyn brought up the action plan. I was like, yep, absolutely. But it's not an action plan in the way that you have to pressure yourself to get there. It's an action plan in the way of like it's exactly what you all said, focus, right? Something that kind of subconsciously draws your focus and reminds you of what is important, so that you're not even worried about, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's not my goal. It's not even that. It's just like you are just focused on doing the thing that is your goal.
Right.
Like you just notice yourself doing those things, and it's inspiration almost rather than motivation. It's inspiration, and it just from internally gets you to do those things that are within your power to get where you want to get to. But I also think that in a way, because your subconscious is aware that this is the thing that you are going after, you're more tuned in and you recognize the opportunity more. So for those things that are so-called out of your control, like if you want a partner, yeah, you can do the steps of going on the dating app or going to the dating meetup or going out if you want to meet people in person to the social spaces. But now you're open in a different way to
Absolutely.
meeting your
Yeah.
person, and it probably lands a little differently. You speak a little bit differently. In fact, you could actually say, yeah, it's on my vision board this year. That's you right there. I'm meeting my person this year, right? And I think
And
all those things help you to manifest. Go ahead.
I was just gonna piggyback off of that and say like it I think the hope, the inspiration, the focus open doors. It opens doors because you're open to the opportunity. Whereas, maybe you say you want abundance and you're walking down the street and you're focused so much on the lack that you walk past $100 bill. And this is just an example. It's just like when you're open, you notice, you pick up on the opportunities. You're more likely to go out for that opportunity that's going to bring you to an idea that might be your $1 million idea. Who knows? But I feel like it opens doors within us, but also opens doors in life, and kind of puts us in the way of these great opportunities.
Yeah, what I would add to that is like the embodiment process is so very important. Like, so in my work, I'm a somatic facilitator, right? So calling you back to your intuition is like changing the ground wires within you. So while your mind is in a certain place, your body, we are frequencies walking around, and that's scientifically, that's been measured. So we can actually attract the things that we have named as our values. And that's what I really like about this process. And that's what I notice as a clear distinction, right? So I had my methodology in place, and, the action plan and everything else. But my body actually, when I'm, like in a space where I could be near an opportunity, my body's like, stop, listen. This place has something that you have an intention for. And, that's what I'm noticing is different, because So one of the things that came to fruition on my board was getting a paid speaking engagement. And also the other thing was I wanted to do my whole tantrum party, right? It never occurred to me that those two things could be one and the same. So I'm getting paid by an organization to do the whole tantrum party.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Which is like, you know, so what I'm trying to share is that it's not so cut and dry that this one thing came true. Sometimes the things can combine because your vision, when you align with what's already waiting for you, is bigger than you. It always is. But through this embodied visioning process, you can live that way and literally walk into your vision. Has anyone else experienced it that way? Yeah.
I don't know that it's manifested yet, or maybe it has, but when I actually did my vision board, I am not a naturally artistic person. Okay. I draw stick figures and people cannot tell whether it's a male or a female. I mean, that's how, you know, so I was very proud of how I used Canva. And instead of fighting against it, I'm like, okay, well, what works for me? And I couldn't figure out a creative way of showing that the different areas that I wanted to cover, you know, reading, travel, so forth, new career path, you know, all of that, I was like, well, does this go in this category, that category, this category? And then I finally just gave up on that and said, okay, what's a simple way of representing that? And I just have in the background a circle around on that shows that they're all connected. Because that allowed me to be open to noticing those things. Like, beautiful. You know, like, oh, okay, I'm focusing on this area right now. Wait a minute, I'm also focusing on this, and it's all connected. So
exactly, right? Because like that's the thing, where even though I feel like there's two things, we're conditioned to compartmentalize things. Life is not compartmentalized, right? It's all connected. You know, you can't have clients without having your own coach, right? And you can't. It's like it's. What is it? What do they say? The chicken, is it the chicken that comes before the egg, or the egg? You know what I mean?
Egg before the
Yeah. So it's all connected.
Yeah. I think there's a balance between the two, and that is ever since I trained as coaching. I do a career coaching for people, and I'm constantly talking about the balance of things. So yes, you can't compartmentalize because everything is connected. At the same time, sometimes you need to, in your brain, to compartmentalize, to focus on one thing actively at that time. It's kind of recognizing the balance, like how to balance both needs.
That makes sense. One thing that I wanted to share, actually, in addition to like being open and the intuition and the embodied part of which I really thought was such a beautiful way to describe it, Cordelia, like that your body will be like, wait, listen, there's something here for you. And that's something I hadn't previously thought of, but I really agree with you. I really find it to be true. I find that talking about our dreams and our hopes and our goals, whether big or small, is really powerful. And a part built into our visioning retreat is that we have participants talk with each other. And I found this time we had a lot of good feedback about people really enjoying getting to see where other people are in their lives, getting to hear about their dreams, hopes, and goals, and getting inspired by one another. And I just love that. It's like fodder, like everyone's kind of growing together and like going off on their journey emboldened because they did it with a wonderful group of like-minded people. So I think that's another added touch that makes our visioning retreat special that I've found in my own life, has been a very powerful way to reinforce whatever we're doing, whether it be the positive thinking, maybe it's the focus, maybe it's the intuition and embodiment, all of these things together, of course, but speaking it aloud and talking about it and trusting people with your vulnerability, I find is such a powerful tool on this journey of reaching our goals.
And the wonderful thing for me, selfishly for me, because I love this, is yes, it was like-minded people, but it was also such a diverse group of people. I live in Switzerland. I don't know if you guys remember that. And part of the reason I moved abroad for 2 years and have now been here for 14 years is because I love being in a expat international kind of environment and just being a citizen of the world kind of thing. And I felt like that's what I was experiencing, or, oh, well, there's all these citizens of the world in this workshop from so many different diverse backgrounds, but yet we had and the way everybody approached the workshop was different, like in terms of their vision board, but yet so much the same in so many ways. So it felt like it brought a community together, and and it was fun in that sense.
I agree with you, Robyn. It's one of my most favorite things. Is usually we have different states and different countries represented. So I think this time we had Central Asia, we had Switzerland, we had Canada, but we also have people in Georgia, people in Maryland, people in West Virginia. It was truly different time zones. It was truly a diverse space, and I do also really love that. And then to still find, like you were saying, even with all of that, that a lot of our experiences or challenges are similar. Because we get to talk, there's time to talk about those things too, like the challenges, and then our hopes and things that we're wanting to do. And I think for me, what is really beautiful about that is like you can leave this space already resourced. You can leave this space with an accountability partner. You can leave this space with somebody that does something that you really need, and decide to continue that conversation with them beyond that. So that is one of the, and I think, Robyn, maybe you can really relate to this as coaches, right? Specifically in the ICF tradition, we always want to help people think about what resources are already available to them. So it really is special to me when people can leave with resources, right? So it's like now you have this new group of people to add to your resource team.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's really important to have a community and resources. What I'm wondering is, I know that you also have these quarterly vision retreats, right? So how many people that attend the annual also attend the quarterly ones?
It depends. So we haven't had a quarterly one this year yet. It would be in March, right? At end of March. So I'm trying to think. I honestly don't know. I think oftentimes it's different people show up. So I do think something every month. And a lot of it is, who did I meet that month? Who did I connect with and tell about what I was doing? And that's who is in the room. But regardless of who is in the room, as much as possible, I try to make sure that people connect with each other. But I would love everybody who came for the visioning retreat to come back for the quarterly retreat, because the whole intention of it is to connect back with your vision board or your intentions for the year, and without any blame, without any judgment, just assess where you are and recognize what, if anything, you want to carry on and what you need to leave behind. That's it.
Yeah. And who here did get themselves an accountability partner at the visioning retreat? I have one, you know.
I got myself several.
I definitely connected with some people. To be perfectly honest, I haven't really followed through on the actual accountability partner yet. That's more of a time zone issue than anything else. But I have to say, what works for me personally anyway is to kind of have my vision board and kind of just be accountable to myself. I don't know why I'm a fierce, maybe it's that taps into my fierce independence. But I find that I almost stress out when I have an accountability partner, as opposed to when I just, kind of go with it on myself, as long as I'm making progress. Now, if I found out that wasn't working, like going it alone, that's when I would probably make a bit more effort to say, okay, we can work through the time zone, kind of thing. So
absolutely. No, I chuckle when you say that, because there are instances when it is stressful to, like, when I am not ready to move, but I created an accountability partner to force myself to move, I feel the stress. Yeah. It's like, because sometimes, I mean, I used to have a friend, and she got this from somewhere else, that would say, I don't want to misquote which Buddhist teacher this comes from, but essentially, when the what is the word? When the conditions are right, then that's when things happen, right? And so it's like all the time before then, when you're stressing out and you're stressing out, and then it happens, you're like, oh, is this how it was going to happen? Why did I stress out all that time? And I think it's a little bit of that, where it's like, where is that balance that we keep talking about? Like, am I creating a lot of extra stress for myself now for something that I don't need to be stressed about, by bringing on someone else and saying, hey, remind me, force me, versus like when I'm motivated from inside, right? And I naturally move, because the time and condition and everything is there, right? It's right for me to move.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, so what I do for myself, similar to you, Robyn, is like, I just, like every Monday or Sunday, right? Because I kind of set the tone for my week. I will look at my vision board, right? And then I just pick and see, like, is there something that I could do to move towards this one portion this week? Like, whatever area of my life resonates most, then that is what I focus on for that week, to kind of just not look at the vision board as an elephant, but just, maybe just the top of the toe of the elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
What are you guys doing?
Mine is
I really love that.
Screensaver. And so every time I open my laptop, which is every day, I see it. Even if I don't really study it, I just open it and I see it. And just something about having that reminder, it's like, oh yeah, haven't read today. Oh yes, haven't planned a trip yet. So
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a physical vision board this year, and I have it hanging in my room. And I spend time looking at it and like kind of just letting myself feel the feelings of like joy and excitement and contentment or whatever it is. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that thing and that thing. So it's kind of like a ritual of just getting myself excited and feeling the motivation, and then in my day-to-day life, I'll be like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. And like the things will kind of just come to me. And, but yeah, I've just gotten into the habit of looking at it and kind of just reminding myself, kind of like pulling myself back to center. Oh yeah, this is what I want to do. And this is how I want to do it. And this is how I'm going forward. And this is the life that I want to build for myself.
Love that. I also made a physical board. So this was my first time making a physical board since like maybe 2021, the beginning of 2021. And Madala hinted earlier that we did it on a different platform when she was a participant. It used to be Jamboard before Google got rid of Jamboard,
Yeah.
and then we had to
Oh,
migrate
yeah.
to Canva.
Yeah.
But I really got into the digital boards because, like Robyn was saying, I could save it on my computer or my phone. And then this year, for the first time, I made a physical board because I had all these magazines that I collected from doing these in person. We did it in person and virtually last year as well. So I made a physical board, and it is up on the wall in our bedroom. So when I wake up, I see it. And I was also thinking about, you asked us earlier, Cordelia, like what has manifested, and I'm a little bit with Robyn where it's not the end goal yet. It is the experience of living into it, right? Like,
Mm.
so my vision board is really serving as like a encouragement and giving me a lot of courage. So like had two main things. I had my family life stuff on there, and then I had my business stuff. And my business was all about pivots and all about new chapters and changes because I'm totally like expanding and added something new to what I do. And I started doing it last year, but I'm like, this, I'm embodying this. This is who I am now. But that's not who I've been. So that's scary, right? Like, like, do I know how to do all these things? Yes. Have I done it in combination with other people? Yes. But doing something for someone else and doing it for yourself is different. I'm having to talk about myself differently. And so it's scary, but I look to my board and I get encouraged. And like my board says, like, it encourages me to grow, to do something different, to be open to new ways of making money. So that's the changes in my business. But but I also noticed, so I write a newsletter, and in the newsletter I'm trying to help people stay connected with their vision. And so a lot of everything you all are naming is on there. And as I'm trying to help people do that, I'm also practicing these things. So I'm using my board for visualization, right? Like so when I get a little bit afraid or something feels too far removed in terms of my business, I just sit and I visualize, right? Like what it would feel like to be doing those activities. And it shifts my mood, my energy. And again, like I'm inspired to keep going. I've also made mirror boards. I have family planning is on my board, so I've made a whole nother board focused in on family planning, and that's on my fridge because that's for me and my
Okay.
husband. We both necessary for this part. That's on our fridge. You walk into my house, you see it. It's right there. Ask about it because I want to talk about it. and then and then I made a mindset mirror board to help with like the internal, like everything. And it's so funny. So like my mindset mirror board is all about self-love and all about yeah, just being perfect the way you are, being celebrating what you have already done. I mean, what literally say, what a good day to be proud of all the progress I've made. There's one of the stickers on there, right? So it's things like this, but it's so funny because one thing I notice is it is my family planning board. My family planning board says, don't give up on who you're becoming. And it's so funny that that's where I look to for my business.
Well, and
And
it's
feel
not, right?
encouraged.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Because like
yeah,
you're birthing something as a family and you're
exactly.
birthing something as
Birthing
a business.
something.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
And
so,
it's
yeah, so for
connected.
it is so connected because the
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
inspiration for the business comes from the life I want to have, right? With
Mm-hmm.
with our future child, with my partner, right? Like so, yeah, I find that what is true for me is that the board is helping me in how I live my life every day. Like how I feel about my life. Speaking of leaning into vulnerability, that was something that was on my board like several years ago. And I feel that I am more vulnerable and more connected with the friends in my life many, at least a couple of them on this call right now, right? Like I just, so it's just really helping me to live differently. That would be how mine is manifesting.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I love how it keeps coming back to the board, right? I'm thinking of it even as like a grounding board, for an electrical system. So like the vision board is kind of like that. And when you do it in an embodied way, it's like there's a new blueprint in your actual body that drives the way you think and move in your life,
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we come to a close today, we're going to do this again next year, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, dates are already decided. Should I share?
Oh, wow.
Hey,
I don't know what I'm doing next week.
We are planners on this call. Oh, man. Okay, so drum roll. The virtual visioning retreat will take place on Sunday, January 10th, 2027. And the in-person visioning retreat will take place Saturday, January 9th, 2027. And the in-person one, you can go ahead and register now. And it's a great idea to do so because if you register now, you're getting it at this year's price. We're locking that in. But there are tiers and the price goes up. The in-person one, we are closing in on a venue. So right now you can fill in the interest form to reserve your spot so that you get the early bird rate. You'll be the first to hear the venue and everything once it's done. And the venue will be here in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia area for the in-person one. But the dates are there, the 9th. I'll be the 10th and the 9th and the 10th. Look at me. I have to look at the calendar. The 9th and the 10th. So, I think it's the second weekend in January.
I'm so excited about that. And I can't wait to see like where my vision board takes me through the year. I like the idea of creating mirror boards, like, the smaller ones just to amplify certain lifestyle areas or lifestyle areas, I guess I would call it that. And give yourself an opportunity to reconnect with those resources that you met at the visioning retreat. And, maybe not to stress yourself out with the accountability part, but but to at least
don't stress yourself out.
Yeah. Where are you? How are you doing? So let's do one last round and kind of lean into where do you see yourself this time next year? Like, how are you feeling into this vision as you finish the year? Look, as you begin the year.
Can you ask that question one more time for me?
Yeah. So as we're closing out, just think about where you are now using the vision board and where you see yourself walking through the year with this path. Robyn, you want to kick us off? We can come back to you if you're not ready.
No, I was trying to be honest. I was getting inside my head a little bit too much because I was trying to think of something clever. I'll be perfectly honest about that. But I'll just say what came to mind, which is where I would like to be is feeling safer and continually inspired. And safer, by that what I mean is like I'm entering a new phase of my life with changing career, kind of in my semi-retirement age, and trying to figure out what that looks like. And it's scary. It's a fun scary. It's an exciting scary. But I'm looking forward to feeling less, having that scared go away a little bit, keep the excitement, and feel safer. So
Beautiful.
I love that. Maybe this is an invitation to come to the quarterly one so we can work on the safety piece.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you there.
I went to one last year and I couldn't make it to the other two. It was a logistic thing. It was a timing thing. So, but I did go to I think the first one last year.
Thank you, Robyn. Your memory is great compared to mine. Thank you for sticking us.
I'm one person remembering just a few words. You have to remember a lot of people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robyn. And Madala?
So I have a lot of beautiful things in the works right now. So I am hoping by this time next year to be a licensed acupuncturist and herbalist. I'm hoping to be settled in Georgia. I'm moving back to my home state from New York. And I hope to be feeling gratitude through all these changes for the places I've been and the people I've gotten to become close to, and just continue this practice of gratitude every day. And I hope to stay grounded in all the exciting changes. Yeah, that's where I hope to be next year, and possibly married. So we'll see.
Exciting stuff. I love that.
Can't wait to be at that wedding. Oh my gosh. So by the way, I have to love both responses. Robyn, your response was absolutely clever. So look at that. The first thought was clever. Oh man. Okay. So I piggyback off of what you just said, Madala, about wanting to be the experience of gratitude for all the experiences you're having along the way. I think that is actually something that is on my board. So that's something I want to hold and remember, is that I am building memories, right? I am just constantly in awe of the fact that I got to talk to somebody in Switzerland. And in one day I could talk to somebody in Switzerland and also talk to somebody in India and also talk to someone in a walk of life I've never ever been on before. Like just remembering the journey along the way, like all the joy in that on my way to, taking over the world of business success. I'm just kidding, not kidding. But and outside of building memories and staying connected to that, by the end of this year, I know that I will be pregnant. So, looking forward to all of that, all of the yuckiness and the greatness that come with it. Sure. It's our vision. Why not? We're going to have a blissful pregnancy. There will be no morning sickness. Speak that out.
Hey.
But even if there is,
it is possible.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with all of that. And I'm also okay with all the joy that comes with it. So that's what I mean by the yuckiness. So that's a big one. I'm really excited for and looking forward to happening by the end of this year.
I love all your responses. You are absolutely brilliant, Robyn, and clever. And Madala, I'm hoping I'm going to be invited to that wedding too. I will. I'll help you. As much as I can. I've had 6 children of my own. Sometimes I had morning sickness. Sometimes I didn't.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of intentionality with not having morning sickness, though. You have to be prepared in the preconception stage and all that. So, and I've successfully done it 3 pregnancies.
All right, that's my resource there.
You have a whole resource right here.
A whole resource right there. And I knew
How
it.
are you so calm? You're so calm. You have 6 children?
Mhm. Well, I
Wow.
mean, they're not
I am
children
in.
well, I guess some of them still are children.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm impressed with that. I should amend my answer. One thing that I do hope by next year is that I'll have a better poker face because anytime on this call, I've been surprised by something you've
Oh,
seen
I'm
and
with you.
noticed.
I'm right with you there, Robyn. No poker face, and I gesticulate with my hands and
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's normalize that there's no need for a poker face. That's
Amen.
Okay.
right. That's
agreed.
my vision for
And so it
this
is.
year is like every person
Mhm.
that I come in contact with, especially women, like stop contorting to stone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so calm, because I don't contort. And so I would like to normalize that for myself. There are times when I actually have to pause myself because I feel the contortion coming. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm in a unsafe environment. How
Mhm.
will they receive me if I'm not what they're expecting? And so I just stop myself and I'm like, will this cause me to contort? Guess what? I'm committed to not contorting.
Mm.
So, and so far, as scary as it's been, it's also been very successful, right? Because that's how these two things happened. When I revisited that conversation with that organization, they were like, I don't really remember what it was that we were going to do, but, and I told them clearly, well, I had this concept for the whole luncheon party, and they were like, yes, we need that. Can you do it like this? And I was like, absolutely. And so as I'm creating that event, right, every day I get to practice different iterations of what it looks like to have a whole tantrum. And so that makes my choices easier. And, like, I have to embody this. Because when you're sharing something, people can see incongruence so easily. And it's more than just a poker face, right? They can feel the energy and whether or not you are really who you say you are. And so I get to actually practice this on a daily basis and build that those muscles that I don't know that I need, and just continue walking that path. So my path is of non-conforming and no contorting. And so that's what I'd like to normalize for myself this year, ultimately.
That's
Ladies, thank
powerful.
you so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cordelia, may I just say, and that's what people miss.
And
Right
that's
there.
what people miss. Look, contortion is a distortion of who you are. You don't even know who you are when you keep doing it, so I'm not, and it feels good to not do that. And so that's my invitation. And ladies, this has been such a beautiful, enlightening, and powerful conversation. I hope that we can revisit it halfway through the year and see where we are, and we'll make sure we accommodate all time zones, Robyn.
Please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. This has been fun. It's so great to see you all.
It has been fun.
Cordelia.
Thank you so much for being here. And for our viewers and listeners, I hope that we've opened your minds and hearts to a new way of visioning your life so that you can free yourself with an embodied vision. Until next time, choose joy and pleasure so that you savor your life. Later.
Thank you for listening to What People Miss with Cordelia Gafar, the ultimate joy goddess. Hi, I'm the CEO of Workout Around My Day Incorporated, an award-winning podcast host, best-selling author, and embodiment guide who supports professionally successful, socially respected men, especially corporate leaders and founders who are physically and mentally exhausted, to regain strength, confidence, and self-respect without shame, judgment, or emotional overwhelm. Emotional overwhelm may feel like you're merely surviving. As we close today's episode, I invite you to rediscover joy and pleasure in your body with my self-guided experience to create more confidence, resilience, joy, and virility. The Ultimate Confidence Guide for Men Over 50, 14 days to feeling and performing better than you have in decades. Click the link in the description and stay tuned to learn more at CordeliaGaffar.com.